How's it go?
Hello and welcome in to Drop In, Drop Out Pod. We're doing a little messy podcast tonight. It's Wednesday over here on twitch.tv/SpotlightGamesPod. You might be wondering, why the fuck did you just sing your opening song? Because I'm lazy. And I didn't want to play it, and that's okay. And you're going to love it. You're going to like, you're going to subscribe, you're going to share. You're going to give us 5 stars, or else I'm going to give you a spanking on that sweet, sweet tushy of yours. That might be a TOS thing, maybe. No? Great.
No, that's just
then
fun.
I meant everything I said. Yeah, we're going to talk about blueprints. I've been obsessed. Jake has been obsessed. We're going to do what we're calling a messy podcast. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to see where the night takes us. Maybe we only talk about blueprints the entire time. Maybe we sing songs together. Who's to say? But what I do know, Jake, is that it's you and it's me and it's our sweet, sweet chat. We just played some Mario Kart. Things like this we're going to start doing more often. Why don't you go to dropindropoutpod.com, join the Discord, and you'll know when we're doing fun things like this. Like tomorrow morning, Drop In Drop Out Pod's TV, nope, Drop In Drop Out Pod's Twitch account, twitch.tv How's that?
Twitch.tv/Drop In Drop Out Pod. Nailed
Thank
it.
you.
First try.
First try, nailed it. We're going to be live reacting to the Nintendo Switch Direct, all about Mario Kart World, which is going to be my entire personality come tomorrow morning. That's 9 a.m. Eastern time. The plan, as of this exact moment, is to co-stream together, but we're going to maybe do something different. But at the very least, know that you're going to be able to see reactions probably on my channel. And by my channel, I mean twitch.tv/dropinDropOutPod, and on Jake's channel, twitch.tv/JakeTwitchin. But Jake, we're here tonight to talk about blueprints. What a fucking video
Get it?
game.
Blueprints.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Uh-huh.
I this whole time.
Let's talk. Let's get the spoiler warning.
Oh, sure.
Spoiler warning.
You might be sitting there wondering, are we going to talk spoilers of blueprints? If we do, we'll tell you. For now, we are doing no spoilers, other than it's like what's a spoiler? We're not going to be saying that if you go to this room, you can do this exact thing and this is the puzzle solution. But we're going to be talking about concepts. We're going to be talking about experiences that we've had. And that might be some little, what you might consider light spoilers. So my ideology on this, Jake, and let me know if you disagree. If you're afraid of being
Listen to the
spoiled-
podcast if you're not a pussy.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Perfect.
So here's the thing, Jake. I have finished blueprints. And by finished, I mean I have found room 46, which if you don't know blueprints, the goal of the game, you've inherited this mansion. And every morning, the mansion jumbles around and all the rooms get moved around. And as you open up a room, you're given 3 options, like any other roguelike that you typically play, for different rooms in the house. Certain rooms do certain things. Certain rooms have certain entrances and exits. The goal is eventually to find and get to room 46. You might hear that concept and be like, that doesn't sound very interesting. I guarantee you it's the most interesting thing maybe you'll ever play. Would you add anything to the basic premise of blueprints, Jake? It's a tough one to really
that's
explain.
pretty concise. I really struggled because I've been streaming my experience, and so often people come in and I stream such a variety of shit. They're like, what are you playing? And I usually get pretty good at describing what I'm playing after being asked a few times. And I still I'm like, well, this guy left me a house and it's just a mess. It is a game that should be tried. But luckily, the barrier of entry is so fucking low. If you have Xbox Live, no, it's not called that anymore, Xbox Game Pass, or if you have PlayStation Plus on one of the higher 2 tiers, you can just get right in there.
It's true.
So good.
It's true.
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing on PlayStation 5. Playing it via PlayStation Plus. And I love this game so much, I'm going to also buy it on Steam just to give them money.
Ooh.
As a way, because it's free on those places like you just said, and I I did this earlier this year, actually a couple days ago with South of Midnight. I was like, I like this game so much, and I got it for free on Game Pass. I want to do my part and support the developer because I like this game so much. But right now,
Wow.
like, so when we talked about a week from tonight, or a week ago last night, no, fuck. Am I having a stroke, Jake? A week ago tonight, we
Something
talked
like
about
that.
South of Midnight. And I said it's my game of the year, and I loved it so much. I honestly don't know that I can see a game dethroning Blueprints for me right now. Blueprints is already in my top 10 games of all time. Jake.
I am hot. I'm a little. I think I looked before I started this. I'm 11 hours in over 4 streams, and I'm about to start day 14 when I inevitably stream it in the middle of the night tonight because I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And as of right now, it is scratching an Outer Wilds itch that has not been scratched in a long time, but only in certain ways. It is not immediately in my top 10 games of all time. It is, however, probably my game of the year right now. The only
Yeah.
problem is it's going to get taken down by like Mario Kart or Donkey Kong Bonanza for me because I'm a little baby and I like baby games where you run and jump and smash things.
Sure.
But that's not to take away from how much I'm enjoying this game right now. And I was in the same boat as you. Like I had Avowed up at the top for a while, and then South of Midnight kind of took the spot, and now Blueprints is there. But South of Midnight, I haven't even finished because I've so sunk into Blueprints that I love it. So to say it's
Sure.
my game of the year so far is an understatement. I adore it so far.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is possible that something dethrones it for game of the year for me. But so Kayla a minute ago said not GOTY for me just because of my deep love for story, which this is missing a little bit for me. To which I say there is a shocking amount of story in this game. You just have to find it, which I typically don't like that. I typically really don't like it when someone says like the story is there, you just have to find it, or like the story is all in like the lore of the game. But the more you uncover in this game, it's like this game doesn't have a bottom. Like I didn't do a clock check for me, but I am on day 49, I believe. And like I found room 46 on day 37. So I've done 12 more days since then. And like the things that I'm still uncovering is it blows my mind. Like there are things that I saw in days like 1, 2, or 3 that I'm just now finding answers to on day 49. It's like I'm so deeply impressed by how complex this game is, yet how simple it seems. And part of that for me is like I'm finding so much story this late in the game that a lot of people won't ever find. And that is a bummer because it's really compelling. It's like it reminds me of reading like a really dense book where like so much of it just doesn't make sense for so long, and then it like things start falling into places like, oh, that's what that meant. Oh, that's what this meant. And it's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, I think my best advice is if you're not feeling the story stuff or you're not having the things go off in your head, is to stick with it a while longer. Now, I'm no god gamer, but I think I've had some pretty good luck in this game so
You
far.
have had some really good luck.
Solid. I've had some really solid runs, so I feel like I am a little bit more informed than most people that are 11 hours and 13 days in. And because of that, I'm starting to connect a lot of dots, but I also have a lot of threads hanging to the point of I am now not writing down raw information. I'm writing down concepts and shit like that. But
Sure.
We'll get closer. Like I don't want to forget. Like I'm like, oh, I had this idea in my head, like this hypothesis. I need to write down this fucking hypothesis, so I don't forget that I was trying to like pull at that thread. But I want to go back to what you were saying about how like usually I dog on this. You usually dog on this type of thing, dude. This is like my. Actually, if you play enough, you'll notice that the lore in Blueprints is. There's a lot to chew on. You're just gonna have to like. This is exactly the type of game that I make fun of. Tonda. This is my apology to you. I made fun of you when I watched the Blueprints trailer.
Yeah.
I'm an unserious man. You can't take the things that I say to heart. This game is so not up my alley, but also so perfectly up my alley. And I am usually so good at games that even slightly interest me getting into them, especially when the barrier of entry is so low. And I was just like, I'm not playing fucking Blueprints. And I don't remember what pushed me over the edge. Somebody was playing it. I watched like 5 minutes of a stream and I was like, oh, I'll try that at least. I might as well try that. So I just went live and did it, and it clicked for me. But I am usually the first one to knock something like a Dark Souls or a Destiny that has their lore tied up in fucking artifacts, or, you know, you have to go get the Sword of Cum +5. And if you didn't get the Sword of Cum +5 and bring it to the Dung Princess, then you can't get that ending. And maybe good luck next time. The Dung Princess doesn't want to fuck you.
Yeah, I've been there, brother. But there is a magic to this game where, like what you were saying, like, so yeah, I brought my notebook here. People that look closely and zoom in might find some answers to things, but like I just have pages and pages of notes, and like there's this experience that you have that in this game where you'll be going, oh my god, yeah, so many fucking things. You'll be going to, like, okay, I am trying to figure out how to get the boiler room to work, as an example, which is a room that can provide power. And it's like, okay, I'm getting in. I have a good bit of the map left open to me. I still haven't pulled it. Great, I finally pulled it. Now I start. I'm working on this thing, but then this other thread catches my attention. That I'm like, okay, this thing that I've been trying desperately to get to. On my way here, I found a room that I hadn't seen before, and in that room was a little bit of the story or something that alludes to another room, or something's like, oh, that's what that thing meant. I have that on the other side of the castle right now. Because I've been itching to figure that thing out, fuck the boiler room. I want to go figure that thing out. And it does this really like magical thing for me where even though there are some runs where you don't really achieve a lot, I feel like it never wastes your time, because while you're uncovering another day of the house, you're always figuring something out in some capacity, at least in my experience, where it might be like, oh, that's how this puzzle works, or that's how this room works, or, oh, if I have this room, then I can now draw this other room. And it's like this magical give and take. And the more of it that unveils, it's just like you just get flooded with information, and all you want to do is fucking figure things out. And it's so fun, Jake.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely insane. And I've heard one of the criticisms of this game is that people can get a little put off with the RNG, and they can get frustrated when they aren't getting what they want. And I think that your mentality is preventing you from that. And that's the mentality that's important to have when you're playing a game like this. Is maybe it comes from roguelikes, I guess. Like sometimes it's just not the run, man. But this one in particular is very, very good at making it so that even though this one isn't the run, there is something else to do with this run that will improve your future runs and improve your knowledge. It is very Outer Wilds pilled for me, just because, you know, I've seen people now that I've started doing what you're doing, where I'm like, okay, this person's just starting it on stream. They're 2 hours in. I'm going to go watch what they do for 2 hours, you know, go watch a streamer friend do it. And I see them play and they're like, oh, that was such a waste. And I was like, it's not a waste if you learned something. And that is such a Outer Wilds pilled run where, like, if you die in 5 minutes in Outer Wilds, but you made a new discovery and you read a new piece of text and it enlightened you on another subject, then that wasn't a waste at all. You've gained something out of that time frame. But yeah, it is fucking spectacular. Hey, I got a little trivia for you.
I love trivia. Is it Blueprints
trivia?
trivia?
I got a little information. Yeah, it's Blueprints trivia. Well, it's not really trivia. I'm just going to tell you something cool about Blueprints.
Okay. I'll shut the fuck up.
Honda finished this game, made the concept, got the ending, established whatever the room 46 idea is, right? Like start here, get there type of thing, nearly 8 years ago. And for the last 8 years, he has been working with a team just polishing and adding and enhancing and mastering this game. I hear that this game has been floating around for more than a decade. Isn't that fucking insane?
That makes so much sense, though, because in my time, I wonder if it would be on my PlayStation app, how much time I've put into it. I've only noticed one issue with the game, like performance-wise. And it's kind of a spoiler if I were to describe it in a way, so I don't think I will, but it
Yeah,
has to do
don't.
with water. And there's something with water that sometimes when like a day happens, like I'll get like a little bit of a glitch of water happening, and that's it.
Sure.
Like that's the only thing that has
Yeah.
happened for me so far, and that is so impressive because there's so many moving pieces to this game, and like as you go through, there's things that you might have looked at 75 times. And then you finally see it from a different perspective. And it's like, oh, that thing that I've seen 75 times, I understand it now. And there's so many of those examples in this game that I'm shocked that none of it is broken so far. Like I can't believe that it all just works together.
It is a game that has been made with the most incredible attention to detail, and you can tell, like when I say that it's been around for 8 years to a decade, it starts to make sense because everything is just mastered to a fucking T. And it is a game where so far we've only really talked about like the gameplay, because that's of course the highlight. That is of course, you know, what is the centerpiece here, but also being a sum of its parts. It is a pretty game. It has a great art style. It is a sound design potential masterpiece, although maybe a little bit basic. I think that they do a wonderful job with the sound of footsteps and the sounds of like the echoes in some of the rooms and stuff. Like I remember walking into a specific room that was very large that had like a special floor, and I could tell that I was on that floor. And then in addition to that, it's very like, you know, visuals tell you what to think, music tells you what to feel. Sometimes this game is absolutely silent and there is just ambient sounds and noises from you walking around. And sometimes you will enter a room and it will have this like ominous tone or like this mysterious tone where you're like, fuck, there is something here that is eluding me. Like I am supposed to be here working on this right now because the game is telling me to do so subliminally.
Yeah.
It is so fucking good, man. It's so fucking good.
There's a bit of music. There's a thing that you'll find later in the game that you can trigger each day to like help with a thing. This podcast sounds so dumb if you don't know the game.
I know, dude. It's the craziest thing to be cagey about.
I know, but when you like anytime that you trigger this thing, it plays a piece of music, and I got to a point where it won't trigger that music anymore, and I'm like upset about it. I'm like, that music is so fucking good, and I'm not hearing it anymore when I do the thing, and I'm like, come back to me. But to your point, they do this thing with music where, because like at first, there are times when it seems like you could play this game on silent because so little is happening with sound. But then, yes, sound is so important in this game, and it gives you hints, and it creates such a mood that I think really helps make the experience even better. So yeah, the other night, Jake, I'm playing this game and I'm like, I've been knocking on the door of finishing this game for so long. I figured out how to get to room 46 and I just haven't been able to trigger the RNG. I haven't been able to get the right rooms, the right items to do the right things. And I'm just like, and I'm in the Discord. If you aren't in our Discord, we have a Blueprints spoilers thread that's just been going off, and like some people have already finished it, and we're talking about so many fun things in there. And like I got to a point where I'm like, at first I didn't want to know anything from people, but the more I've been playing, it's like, okay, now I want to start hearing more ideas from people and more hints and more clues from people, and even maybe sometimes just like a light spoiler from people, because I don't want to have that frustration keep me from playing the game more. I want to experience more of this game has to offer. And so the other night I finally finished it at like 2 a.m. And I'm like, I'm so fucking hyped from finishing it that I'm just going to do a couple more runs. Jake, I stayed up until 5 a.m.
That's so crazy.
I don't know the last time. It's been at least probably a decade since I stayed up that late on purpose. I stayed up so late
that
I
was 2 nights ago?
This was 2 nights ago. I stayed up so late that I like kind of made myself sick. I had to call out of work.
Nice.
Because I felt fucking terrible.
I am in a very similar boat because last night I went live at 2 a.m. because I couldn't sleep and I was thinking about Blueprints. And at 4:30, 2.5 hours into my stream, Patrick showed up in my chat and said, "Is this a dream?"
Yeah,
We were
because
both like, "What are you doing here?"
my sleep schedule got so fucked by staying up until 5 a.m. playing Blueprints. And like part of the reason I also napped earlier that day, so it was like a double whammy. I kind of fucked myself. So my sleep schedule is so fucked right now. I'm hoping that I can sleep after because I napped again earlier today. I think I might be slowly turning into you, Jake.
Yeah,
And
dude, I'm telling you, it's not
did
that bad.
Yeah. But man, this
Hey,
game.
Kayla asked,
Yeah.
what does RNG mean? Which I think is such a good question. Some people don't know. RNG is random number generator. It is it's the dice roll, if you will. It is when a game has like a random factor to it where you're hoping to draw a 7 of the deck of cards, but you draw an 8. That's the RNG fucking you, I guess, type of thing, right?
For sure.
So it's just not getting the right combination of random draws.
And what I've also learned in this game, I think maybe what if we start like giving some tips of things? Still try to stay spoiler free, but like things that I've kind of come across or you've come across that is making your experience better because of these like little things you've learned. Does that sound interesting to you, or is that scary, Jake?
Ooh, a new follower goal of 150 met. I just saw it pop up on our screen. What a time to be alive.
That?
What a time to be alive. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'll go. We'll be very, very vague. I don't want anybody to be put off of it yet because I think we should open the doors for spoilers that won't spoil me a little bit later.
I guess what I want to say about it, which is why I brought that to the table, with RNG, with this game, with random number generation, the more you play, the more you start to learn in certain aspects, not in every aspect, that in ways you can kind of control the RNG, where like certain things will spawn because you did this, or certain things will spawn because you are in this room. And so that I feel like something that I think might also help someone that's listening or watching that is finding frustration with this game is like always try to go to a room that you've never been in. If you get to a point, even if you're like halfway through your run and you're like, I only have like one path left. I feel good about this, but like, maybe my items aren't good, or maybe I'm running out of my currencies. Like I don't have any gems left, so I'm not gonna be able to get like the rarer rooms, whatever. But there's a new room, and the room's going to kill my run, but it's a new room. I would always say get the new room, because a new room might give you a new piece of information that all of a sudden opens up so much more of the game for you. And I think right now I'm at a point where I think I'm only missing 2 rooms of the entire like draw. I think there might be a couple other rooms that you have to like find that aren't RNG, but for me so far, I think I've only found there's only 2 that I haven't found. And that has really helped me of like, oh, I've never been in room X, even though this is going to kill my run. I want to go in there and see what I can find. Are you doing that, or do you find that experience?
Without a doubt. And I think that that's a really good tip as well. If you are feeling like you're not making progress, or you feel like it's going to like kill your run, where I've had situations where I have a run where I've been in the game for 30, 35 minutes and I'm like, I got nothing. I got no fucking keys. I got no fucking gems. Everything is bad. I'm running out of steps. And I go, oh, but I don't have this room. And I go in there and I find a piece of information that is so important that it recontextualizes quite literally every other room in the house so far and every other run that I will do. That makes things so fucking exciting all over again that going into every room is now exciting again, even though I've been in that room 35 times on like each of these runs. Like I've been in this hallway this many times, but now this hallway is so interesting to me because I didn't realize this or that about it. And it's fucking unreal. No other game can do this. But to just like put a bow on the RNG situation, the thing that I think gets like frustrating with some people on like the RNG is that there are ways, if you were using it, if the goal is primary colors and you really need a blue room, you have ways to adjust things as you go through where you can make blue rooms 50% more easily appeared. But still, when you get to that one point where you need to draw the blue room, there is still that percentage chance where you're going to pick up a fucking yellow or a red. And that can be frustrating, I think, in that sense.
For sure.
But for the most part, I think it is the plight of the one track mind. I think in this game,
yes,
this game is going to work best for you if you are just down to fuck around and not get frustrated that you didn't get this thing. Because I am very like, let's find a build that works and let's just like mash that build. Like when I played Hades, I got all 10 of my clears on different infernal levels of the fists because I didn't like any other weapon. So I just brute forced my way through Hades on the exact same fucking weapon the entire like time. And if I didn't get like my special proc, I probably didn't get the, you know, the run. And Blueprints forces you to think not just outside the box, but outside the box and inside another box and outside both of those boxes and in the country that box was fucking like shipped from. Like it's fucking insane.
Yeah. There was a moment for me where I realized how deep the well went, like narratively, where I uncover this room and I start learning about like geopolitics, and I'm like, this game is so much more than just finding a room. I can't. And then, like you said, it's like that thing is like, oh, okay, now that I have this little bit of information, I want to go find every other piece that would like support this theory or whatever. Because also, Ryan in the chat earlier was saying the game lies to you a lot too, which is true. Where like, there are certain things where the game will tell you one thing and like it's either a blatant lie or it's like a certain perspective of a certain character, and then you start getting other perspectives. And right, and so I think the game does lie to you, and it tells you it lies to you, but it doesn't lie to you as much as you think it does, which I think is also a really interesting thing.
It is a wild situation.
It's an unreliable narrator situation. That's exactly right.
Definitely. It is very much like, you know, I go in this game and I'm expecting to just like draw a house and get to the end. And then, you know, here I am 10 plus hours in and I'm like, well, those two are the kids. And then they had a kid. And I'm like learning who this person is. And I know the name of the maid and I know the name of the guy who worked at the house. And I know that somebody got fired from the house. And it's like this fucking, I'm still trying to untangle the web in my head. I'm not there exactly yet, but the amount of shit that I am uncovering and learning about is unbelievable. I didn't think that I would have the type of notes that I have about this game or care about it that much, but it is really pulling me.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And like,
oh, hey, I got a non-spoiler thing.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, I was going to say, these kinds of games, I typically really struggle with tracking story, and I am missing things, and there are things where like I'll get a little confused of like, oh, I remember hearing about this like 14 days ago. I don't really remember exactly what this is, but I think it gets to a point where, so I say this to say, if you're like me, where like you play Elden Ring and you're like, none of it means anything to me because it all just seems like fucking notes and whatever, even though that is technically what this game is. I feel like you get like an avalanche of information over the course of all of your runs that eventually things just start kind of falling into place. And you do kind of have to like revisit things at times. You're like, okay, I need to, because I fell into a trap where it was like, okay, I'm not going to read that note anymore because I've read it already. And then it was maybe like 25 days later where I was like, I should probably reread some things. And I started rereading things. I was like, oh, I see now. And it's like, which is also one of those things where I could see that not being interesting to you. But man, I keep saying there's like a magic to this game that I'm so impressed by. But what were you going to say?
No, I think you're right. No, I was going to go off topic. I think you're entirely correct on what you just said, but I just wanted to focus on something that's, before we get into like spoilers, there's something that is like ever so slightly a spoiler, but one of the coolest things in the game that I have to bring up to you.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
This is the lightest spoiler that we'll give for the entire thing. There's a fortune teller in this game. Yeah. And it's so fucking sick. Every time, like, at the end of the year when I'm thinking about, like, the coolest moments in this game, I will think, I've only had my fortune read 3 times, and every single time, I have gotten actual chills. I am so blown away by what I am watching and hearing and seeing. It is so fucking good. Cinema.
This game,
but to follow up on your point, go.
No, I was gonna say this game, it very, very seldom gives you cutscenes, but whenever it does, it is so fucking good. Like the way it And like I've seen, I think 5 or 6 fortunes at this point, and like some of them, I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you guys are telling me, but I'm so
Yeah.
interested.
For sure. It's crazy.
Can I? Here's a tip.
Yeah.
This is okay. I think let's go into spoilers, but like still, we're not like spoiling everything. But Ryan says something in the chat that I want to address, and I think this is a good way to start talking about some spoilery type things. So this is your official final warning. Ryan says, I will say after 20 some days, I'm overdoing math equations for one of the things. I got to a point where I think I was on day like 41, 42. So like the math was getting fucking hard. It was bringing like, if you don't if you haven't noticed this about you probably have, but if you haven't noticed it about the billiard puzzle of the math puzzle in the billiard room, every day that you get, that you succeed at that puzzle, it gets harder the next day. It starts adding in new rules. But there are these things around the mansion called upgrade discs. And if you put the upgrade discs into a computer, you can upgrade your rooms. And that also is an RNG thing. It's a random number generation thing. But I rolled an upgrade to the billiard room that makes it to where the math is only simple addition again. And it's the best fucking thing I've ever done. Where like now I don't have to do
sick.
any of that shit anymore. It's just what's 1 + 4. And I'm like, thank fucking God. I was starting to get to a point where it's like, I have to bring out paper just to do the math problems because they're getting so fucking hard. But those are the kinds of things where like, once you start upgrading rooms and like tweaking rooms a little bit, it can all of a sudden make your experience so much better. Like there's another one where every time I pull it, I think you have this too, the boudoir. Every time you pull it, you get 2 of the reroll dice. It's like, great. Now I want to pull a boudoir every single fucking time I can. It's great.
Yep. It's so nice. Yeah. I have very, very few upgrade discs, but I do love those math problems, to be honest.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest man in the world.
Sure.
Were you impressed with my logic and multiplication skills that I've been showcasing on stream?
I was. At first I was gonna give you shit for it, but then I was like, I took a beat and I was like, imagine me having to do these puzzles in front of people. I wouldn't do as well as I've been doing. I guarantee it.
Not bad. It's so fucking fun. It's so satisfying sometimes. The logic puzzle is probably my favorite. Sometimes I read it and I'm just like, got it. I think I've only missed 1 and I've done 12.
Ooh, nice.
I
was looking at my stats earlier today. And because there's a room where you can see your stats, that's all I'll say. And I only missed 1 billiards puzzle of I think 49 when I looked. Oh, so I must have been last day that I was on. But I've missed like 12 of the logic puzzles. I've fucked up the logic puzzle a good bit. Granted,
I'm sure they're gonna get more complicated.
Yeah, and like I've also noticed, it seems to be the higher rank the room is pulled, the harder the logic puzzle is. And because that one, I don't think it's harder every day you do it. I think it's based on the rank the room falls. But there have been some ones where I'm like,
sense.
I have no fucking clue what the answer could be. And like every now and then I'll bring in Rose, and whenever I bring in Rose, we get it together. But like nothing. Ryan asks, have I had to Google anything? I have. At first I was not Googling a single thing, but after I beat it, I started Googling a few things here and there, but I'm still trying to be very selective of what I Google because there was one kind of bigger thing that I Googled and it just immediately took all the fun out for me. And like, I figured it would, but I was like, I'm just so frustrated at this puzzle. I just want to know the answer. And then I got it and I was like, I wish I had tried a little harder. But so what I've found some good like forums on like Steam where people will give hints for things, which is nice. And then also our Discord has been good about, hey, coal mines, have you figured this out yet? Can you I was having so much trouble with all the safes, and coal mines helped me and AOC helped me with the safes. And finally, now I understand the thing. And so now the safes have become so much easier for me. So I've been doing that more when I can, is asking people in the Discord.
The Discord has been so good. Like, I was so terrified because I got a late start to this. I only started this game 2 days ago. Yeah. And I've streamed it 4 times. And I was so scared to jump into that thread because there's like 140 messages and there's all kinds of fucking shit in there. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anything about this. I don't want to get spoiled. But somebody added me today. And then I like looked and I scrolled up and everyone is so good about spoiler tags about even the vaguest thing. Like it was so pleasant to get in there, but they'd also like hint towards it so that I knew that I could click this spoiler tag and not fuck myself over type of thing. Really, really nice conversation, even to look back on to see how other people are progressing and stuff like that. I think that's really
Yeah. And I think too, like because I just fucking love this game so much. If you're in the Discord, I think now me, Coal Mines, and Andrew on Carts seem to be the furthest. With I think me and Andrew on Carts both having finished. If you ever want to just like message me or tag me in the thread and be like, "Hey, have you figured this out? And if so, do you have a hint?" I would love to give you a hint. If I know the answer. I don't know all the answers. There's still so many things I don't know the answers to. But between the three of us, I think we've all gotten pretty far in a lot of the puzzles. But then there's still so many that I still like. There's one that has to do with the boiler room and getting power elsewhere that I've not been able to figure out still, but only because I haven't been able to pull the room and the boiler room and get them, within range or whatever. I'm like, I'm speaking of the one in the laboratory. I want to figure that puzzle out so fucking bad, and I just haven't had the chance to. Have you figured that one out yet?
No, because I'm in the same situation. I haven't powered it.
Yeah.
I have solved that puzzle, but I just cannot.
Oh, really? I haven't tried to solve it yet.
Yeah, I have the answer to that puzzle as I have solved what is supposed to be done there. But in order to perform it, I need power is basically what it is. And that's just RNG. But I've only had a single run where I actually found the boiler room and all that. So
Gotcha.
There's still a lot for me to do.
I found this thing today as another like hint thing. This is a hint of hints. I found a thing today from the laboratory. So in the laboratory, you can conduct experiments, and it's also randomized. It'll be like,
my God.
It'll be like every time you open a security door, you get a pile of dirt to uncover in the driveway. So it's like, okay, if I don't have the shovel, I'm not going to choose that one. But like, it gives these little pairs of things. And I found one today that I did that was every time you open a door, get a letter delivered to a certain room. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I got like 5 or 6 letters delivered, and the letters are just hints about puzzles. So it's like, oh, all of a sudden, like now I think I can figure out the laboratory puzzle if once I actually try. I just haven't tried because I wanted to wait until I had power. But there was a letter that gave me like a very clear hint on how to do that puzzle. It's like, oh, great. And one of them has, if someone's trying to figure out the security room and you can't find the password, one of the notes has a password in it. So it's like a built-in guide almost. I just don't know how far it goes yet. Because I've only done it once, and I don't know if there's a way to trigger letters other than the experiment, but it's just like there's every time I turn around, there's a new fucking thing, and it's so fucking good. Let's see, coal mines in the chat. I just got power to the blank room, which I think may get me to the area I've been trying to go, Patrick. I can't figure out your code.
By the way, I'm putting 3 lock boxes in the rooms at my wedding is so fucking good. Extremely smart.
Good. Jake, do you, because I'm afraid of spoiling something for you. Do you have any like questions or things like walls that you've hit that maybe you want a little bit of a nudge on, or like things on your mind that you think would be fun to share?
No, I am so against looking anything up right now. I am so against getting any help from chat most times. I have had a couple people point me in the right direction, and then I've also leaned on chat to write things down for me a few times, like specifically in some like puzzles where I needed words recorded and things like that. But outside of that, I feel good. And what's really fun is like striking down these hypotheses, if you will. Is that the hypotheses?
Sure. Yeah, I know hypotheses. Sure.
Hypotheses. And it's crazy. Here's the craziest thing. Like, all right, this is as spoilery as we've gotten so far.
Okay.
The other day, I made discovery, and I realized that discovery was repeatedly happening in a certain section of the house.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, oh, that only happens
On the west
on
side?
this side. Yeah. And I used that information on a further stream because as I was laying in bed thinking about blueprints,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my fucking God. I bet I have to go to the other side, or like I need to go. I bet that thing that I'm trying to do has to happen on the
Oh, I
east
think I know
side.
exactly what you're talking about. I think.
And probably, but
Will
it's
you
so
just say it?
fucking.
Now I want to know. Spoilers.
Spoilers on. Spoilers on for Jake only. As
I don't
far
have
as
a
Jake has
spoilers.
gotten, which is not as far as most people. That's okay. They'll figure it out. Audio
I can make a little
everyone's
text thing.
everyone's an adult here. Nah. Let it fly. Secret Garden.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But
And the
go ahead.
the puzzle at the end of the Secret Garden, which I'm pretty sure can only spawn on the east side because of the way that it's laid out. I think you have to put a key in a door in column 4 to open the room on column 5 is my guess. Seems to be the only way that I could open that. I needed a door that was facing east to access the Secret Garden.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know that you do.
Oh, interesting. But
Yeah.
then I'm trying right now to apply that formula to other things because my guess
I
is
see.
I gotta get in there because like my big thing that happened yesterday was I got in the antechamber
Yeah.
and I thought I beat the game and I got your princesses in another castled.
Yeah.
But solving that puzzle in the Secret Garden, opening that door, turning around, realizing what I needed to do, making it all happen to get up there to the correct entrance was so fucking satisfying.
Yeah.
I was like, this is peak video gaming.
Yeah.
And one of the things, do you have anything else really spoilery that you want to talk about? Because I don't really have anything like further than that. I'll tell you where I'm hung up right now, I guess.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Well, I got the basement key, obviously.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Have you found where to use it yet?
So no. And I got a couple guesses. Right now my leading guesses are that I need to use the basement key somewhere particular inside of the house. Like maybe I need to be in row 1 because the basement key, I was like, maybe it has to be used like towards like the entrance or something, or maybe it has to be used towards the back, like a door facing like what row 10 would potentially be,
Oh,
you know?
sure.
Or I know that there is like an outside path that is dark and not illuminated. And I think I can power that somehow, either through like the breaker room or yeah, it's got to be the breaker room is my guess. But I was like, that would be a good place for a basement because when you go down, there's like a little path down and then there's like a fucking door like barricaded off by rocks like you would have if you placed a doorway against a room that did not have a doorway, basically. Sure. I'm like, oh, something's going on down there. And then also, oh, fuck, there's a crazy fucking mystery going on with the goddamn flames. I turned one of the flames on by accident.
Only one so far?
Oh, my God. And then only one so far. Yeah, it was in the thing. Oh, my God. Wait, I got to tell you about another thing that happened. It's so good. I wanted to talk about the experiments thing that you were talking about. I had the craziest run on the experiments the other night. So first of all, so I turned that light thing on, and then when I stand on that porch and you look down, there is such a crazy piece of architecture chilling in the bottom of the fucking like rock cavern that is so fucking sick.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, so I had an experiment that was like every time you eat an orange, permanently increase your allowance by 1 coin.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Let's fucking go. So I did it pretty early and I just made my run completely like, let's open shit. Let's explore. Let's get fucking food. I ended up finding a pool, which brought me to the locker room for the first time. And literally attached to the locker room, I got a fucking goldsmith or whatever the fuck, a key maker.
The
And
keymaker,
I
yeah.
opened 16 lockers, found 8 oranges. My daily allowance is 10 coins now.
That
It's fucking unreal.
by the time I finished the game, I think my allowance was only at 4, but I'm up to 15 now. But to be at
Yeah.
10 already is fucking insane.
It's crazy. And now I experimented with the fucking shrine where I made a blessing or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I donated coins because I have this influx of coins now. Every time I
Yeah.
start off in that room that I unlocked via the garage, I can roll through and just dump 5 coins and get some crazy blessing that lasts for 3 days.
Sure.
And they are starting to like, I'm starting to become fluent enough to be like, all right, we're doing like a green room run type of thing,
Sure.
which is very, very cool. And then I just also found the drafting room.
Ooh, yeah. God,
And I had
this
to
is so
choose.
fun.
I had to make a hard decision of like the three choices to make, and I took the one that rotates apparently, but I haven't gone into that room yet. I haven't drawn it. I just
okay.
selected it to get added to my pool, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. The pigeonry or something like that.
The
I don't know what it's
rotunda?
called. No,
The rotunda can spin. Maybe I'm thinking of something different.
this was like, I think it was like a bird, like an aviary type of thing or something like that. It looked like it had birds on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot.
But it's a room?
I haven't been in there. It's a room. Yeah, it was one of the 3 rooms that I could draft there.
Okay.
That got added to my pool.
I'll pay more
It's crazy.
attention.
And then, okay, the last thing that I want to talk about is how excited I am to finish everything that this game has to offer so that I can dive into the wide world of the internet and see everyone else's experiences, because there is no way any single person will have the same experience with this game. There are way too many different permutations. Like I don't think anyone will ever have the same first run, much less the same outcome and order of operations of solving this game in the way that they solve it. And I'm so excited for not only being able to watch other people do it, I'm excited for the inevitable no clip or otherwise documentary that comes out for this game. That's so unbelievable.
Sure.
I talk all about the Outer Wilds one all the time. You ever seen the Outer Wilds documentary?
No, because I want to finish the Outer Wilds first.
You need to finish the Outer Wilds.
I do.
It is so crazy. Like there's just like behind the scenes stuff. Like the Outer Wilds is so cool. Like when you jump in that game, they couldn't figure out how to make a jump work because of the gravitational pull. You don't actually jump. The entire universe sinks down and then rises back up to give you the illusion that your character is jumping. Like it's just like really cool shit. And I know there's going to be some like behind the scenes mechanics that are working in this game that have to be like of a similar nature to make this shit all fucking work the right way. I'm ready to see Tonda talk at me for hours about how he made this game. And then in addition to that, it'll be really fun I'll get what I can from the story, get as far as I can, try to wrap my head around it. But the inevitable 2-hour unfolded, the full story timeline order of the events.
I can't wait to watch that too.
Blueprints are gonna be so. Hey, I also have a theory. You're not allowed to tell me if it's right.
Okay.
But I was making a joke. Somebody said something about like there was like somebody made something about a red prince or something like that. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a yellow king thing? Is it gonna get like the King in Yellow type shit that was in fucking like True Detective season 1?
Oh, I know.
I was like, I wonder if it's gonna go down. I wonder if it's gonna go down that road and get really creepy. But I don't know.
You could. Have you seen the book, The Red Prince?
I don't think so.
Okay, you probably have, and you probably haven't looked at it.
Possibly.
Can I tell you one thing that is technically a spoiler, but I wish I had known this, and I regret doing a thing, then I wish, and if I were you, I would want to know this.
Yeah.
The chapel. If you ever get to a point where you can get something from the chapel, consider waiting. My and I won't get more specific, but my like inability to say no, the second I said yes, I deeply regretted it.
Interesting.
So if you get to a point where, and it does warn you, it's like, hey, this is a one-time thing. consider that, because I've then uncovered more things. It's like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Really wish I hadn't done
Yeah,
that.
sure.
It's
That's
going to
good
make
advice,
that
though.
thing a lot harder to achieve. Once, yeah, I'll stop there because I don't want to say too much.
Sure, yeah.
And then
The chapel has been a very fucking interesting one to me, where I'm like, oh, I know there's something there, and it's like one of the earliest notes that I took was the chapel has 7 pictures with 7 numbers on it, and they all are like, there's like a maid, and there's like a fucking lobsterman or something. I don't know. There's a bunch of different fucking
yeah.
archetypes of people, it seems, painted there, but I have nothing.
Before I take down the spoilers tag, I want to ask you. I think you're going to say no, and I respect that you're going to say no. But do you want to know anything about the basement door, based on what you were pitching earlier? I thought so.
No, I feel like I'm gonna figure out basement door. I'm excited to see how I figure it out, but I feel like I'm on the right track with a couple different things that I want to get done anyway, and I'm like, one of these is probably going to lead to the basement door type of thing. Sure. I got a pretty firm suspicion there, and it's one of the things that's like keeping me up at night too. So it's an exciting mystery.
Good. Okay, then I won't say anything. Last question: have you fucked around at all in the pump room?
Any pumpers in chat? One's in chat if you're pumping right now, actually. What the fuck is the pump room?
Then you have it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a water room. There's water in the room.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But we do have pumpers in the chat, worth noting.
Over here pumping my shit right now. We love to see it. All right, I'm going to take down spoilers unless we have any final spoilery things to say. There are so many spoilery things I want to say, but I know that if I were listening and didn't have the answers, I wouldn't want to hear them.
I feel like what we should do is reconvene on this.
Yeah.
In a week when I am in the post game as well, and once our curiosity is satiated and we are both like open to talking about anything that's left in the game type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because it could not get there. It could be like, okay, I'm going to save this.
I'm pretty close to that point for me.
Sure. I'm definitely behind, but like there's a world where I stream this in a little while, you know, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think now that I've found the room and I've found a lot of like big shit, I'm kind of to a point where like I got to this one puzzle, and I'll speak, I won't speak spoilery, but I got to this puzzle that's like a really long thing. And this was the first time that I ever got to a point where I could try the puzzle.
Penis puzzle.
Yep, it's the penis puzzle. And I got to this puzzle and I'm like, you know what? I recognize that I will never get all of the answers for this. I'm just going to look it up. And I'm glad that I did. Just from, because like now I got the answer, and like it was either I was going to do it myself by cheating, or I was going to watch someone do it and figure it out then. So it's like, I'll just look it up. Because that's one of those things where like it's such a big, like very, very lore heavy puzzle. I'm like, let's just tell me the answers. But other ones I've looked up answers for, and it's really hurt my heart that I did. So it's a delicate dance.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold off as much as I can. See how it goes. God.
Rabbit128 says, Pat, did you find the books? A to D's nuts. I fucking see through your bullshit, Rabbit. I see through your bullshit. I see through it. I fucking got you before you fucking got me. You handsome motherfucker.
Nice. Now that's nice.
Now that's nice. Anything else? Coal Mines, round of applause for Coal Mines. He drained the thing. And by the thing, he means his penis.
Penis. Yeah. Balls.
Penis and balls. I felt like there was maybe something else I wanted to talk about tonight that wasn't Blueprints.
Maybe a cyst.
It was a cyst. But I'm so Blueprints focused right now. Blueprints pilled. I have no idea what else I wanted to talk about. Do we want to talk at all about the Direct? Like, we talked a little bit about it during Mario Kart.
Fuck the Direct.
Fuck the Direct.
I know I asked you some questions. I thought that would be like interesting, but I have a lot of stuff planned for tomorrow night's podcast that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
But you have to. I'll tell you about it right now, and I don't think anybody else will listen to it, so they're not allowed to brush up. You have to. You have to swear you won't.
I won't.
How well do you know? How well do you know like history of Mario Kart? Like, do you know rosters and tracks and stuff like that?
If I had to take like a test, I might be able to pass. Like I've played all of them. The one that I played the least was the 3DS version. Well, actually, I never had a wait, was there a DS and 3DS version or just one?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I've played the DS version, but I think I've played all the others. But like
Mario Kart DS, then Mario Kart Wii, then 3DS, and then 8.
Okay.
Because like 3DS is 7.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't think I could tell you like who is in Double Dash as an example. Ryan mentioning Double Dash in the chat. Like I can tell you the basic ones, but like I played so much Double Dash, but that's not necessarily how my brain works.
Okay, so here's the games that we have. I'm going to have you identify some characters from the Super Nintendo game.
Okay.
I am going to have you identify a character by their partner in Double Dash.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you which track is missing from the Nintendo 64 Cup.
Ooh. Okay. I like it.
There's some of the trivia things that we're going to be bringing tomorrow.
I love it. Am I hosting?
You're hosting. I'm in the producer chair.
That's right. You're just bringing a game. For a second, I thought maybe you're hosting. Thanks for.
But it's like a visual aid thing.
Yeah, no, I haven't thought about
team effort.
Yet. I need to. I need to post in the Discord.
We need to take bets on the Metacritic score for Mario Kart because I feel like this could be like a definitive game. Like people are gonna like it could be like a 10 out of 10 from like a bunch of outlets type of thing. Like best Mario Kart ever made, the definitive casual racing game. It looks like it's made with such TLC, man.
Metacritic Mario Kart. I want to see. Let's do this.
It's pretty strong.
I wonder. Let's just go here and then let's search Mario Kart. Will it give me like a list of them?
The search engine for these things usually fucking blows, but it won't be bad for this though.
Yeah,
generally fucking high, man. Mario Kart Tour got him.
The only ones in the 70s are the fake ones, like Home Circuit or, well, The Wave is being counted. But like Mario Kart Tour on the iOS, like, of course that's shit.
Imagine this. It's the first IRL stream, and we bring a Mario Kart Tour camera. No, Mario Kart, what the fuck is it called? Live circuit camera hooked up to Mario, and we zoom it around and we intro every single person, and then the last person is you, but it's not you. It's you sitting on the ground, spread eagle, wearing a Speedo, and I ram Mario into your ball sack full speed. Do you like this idea?
I would do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would show cake for that. Because
excellent. I think
because when it comes to P. Schwissy, you're seeing butt from the front. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. How you know it's fat from over there? That's what I always say.
To spoil my guess, I'm guessing like a 94 for Mario Kart World.
Yeah, I think like 96. Like disgustingly like 96, 97 maybe even. I think something's going to be fucking insane about that game.
I think it will actually be a 96 or 97, but I don't think it's going to get there on Metacritic. Because there's going to be...
Noah has a really good take.
Yeah, reviewers are going to take out the frustrations.
Reviewers are going to take out...
Go ahead.
Their frustrations about the console launch on the scores of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Probably so.
I see it. Ooh, Ryan Selby hit with a gym requirement. RIP in peace, my guy.
Tough times.
Well, Jake, are we met?
SC Podcast. Content. So much fun.
Fucking book it, brother.
So true.
So true.
So
all right, y'all. Well, thanks for being here. Shout out to all the folks that have been with us this whole time. We've had a great fucking chat. Played some Mario Kart. Talked about some blueprints. I think I finished like second or third, which to me is first place.
I came in second to last every time that I played, which was twice. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll be back tomorrow morning right here on twitch.tv/drop-in-drop-out-pod. It's just whether it's going to be me alone or also with Jake. We'll see. And then tomorrow night, about now, well, we'll probably be close to wrapping up now, or we'll still have a fucking hour left in us because we're gods. We're going to be talking about the direct and also our Mario Kart memories. If you're in the Discord, be on the lookout for my message. I'm going to be asking you guys to share your favorite Mario Kart memories from your life. We're going to read some on the show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, should I raid somebody or should we just say fuck it?
nah, everyone sit in silence and wait for us to go live tomorrow morning.
Great.